ChatGPT is the 155 IQ business partner in your pocket. Now, most entrepreneurs aren't quite using it right yet. And one of the reasons that is because they fall into something that is called the productivity trap. And so, what ends up happening is I've seen this over and over again. New technology emerges that will make life easier, make it better, and entrepreneurs find themselves so busy with the things they're already doing that they fail to implement the thing that's actually going to have them progress the fastest. And so right now, most entrepreneurs are using ChatGPT as a glorified Google search engine. They're not really using it for true business strategy, pricing models, offer refinement, and getting deeper insights. So a lot of people I talk to who are solopreneurs, which I spent a lot of my time as a solopreneur, the desire is always to have some type of business partner, someone to be able to bounce ideas off of, someone to be able to become more organized, or to take someone who's really creative like myself and organize some of that. And we can use that now. You don't need a full team to support you. You have a whole team behind you with AI. But you may still be drowning in admin work and doing all these tasks like scheduling, emails, client follow-ups, and all sorts of other task management. And a lot of that's being manually done, or it's being done with a system that just requires too much oversight. And then another thing that we get to learn about, another problem that we're seeing in the entrepreneur community, is people don't understand the difference between a frontier model and agents. Frontier models are getting all the press right now. That's ChatGPT, Gemini, Grok. That's this general AI concept where it can do a million different things, anything we give it. But an agent is a software that's basically built on top of a frontier model that fulfills a very specific need and role. And so knowing the difference between those two things and when it's appropriate to use one over the other is also something we get to learn about. And what I found, and this has been my case as well, is a lot of time spent on learning how to use the frontier models like ChatGPT, but not really digging into the agents. But now agents, and one of the reasons is because the agents really weren't working as they were marketed, but now they're beginning to be able to do that. And so one of the things that's going to really separate the entrepreneurs in 2025, this is really the year. I was sitting down with one of my friends, Ani, and we were discussing how in 2025, this is the year that we implement AI. In 5 years, everyone will have done it, but we're in this small little window that if you implement it now, you're going to be able to get ahead, and it's not going to be something you're trying to catch up on later. So AI is not really a trend. I had someone ask, hey, is this more of a trend or what's going on? Absolutely not. This is the future. AI powered automation is already happening. So there's been some recent studies done, and they were published in Forbes magazine. And basically, we're looking at is a lot of companies and individuals are using AI to eliminate up to 40% of working hours and seeing an increase in efficiency of 40% as well. Now, if we look at engineers, if we're looking at the Silicon Valley types, people who work in technology, they're actually seeing an 88% increase in efficiency. So 40% is actually conservative. And I see two different types of businesses using it right now. The one type of business that's able to deploy AI in their business to gain that efficiency is big corporations who can have people who are devoted to this and implement it in certain departments and so on and so forth. And then solopreneurs or very small teams where the team has decided to put their attention on this. Those companies that are in the middle, they're probably going to be the hardest or in the last to implement these things. So if you're a solopreneur or you work with a small team, which is likely the type of people who are watching this YouTube channel, then you're going to want to implement these things. And I'm going to talk about how I implemented something here shortly in this video. So just think about this. Someone who is using marketing can create content for their audience and analyze the content before it goes out and produce it like 3, 4, 5 times faster. And the quality can be even higher if done well. The idea of just saying, hey, I want you to create an article about this, that doesn't work. You have to learn how to work with ChatGPT or Gemini or Grok or one of these other frontier models. These business owners are deploying AI-driven DM agents and can automate lead generation, sales follow-ups. You've probably seen an increase of emails coming into your inbox from random people. I know I have. I've seen an increase in traffic of messages coming through. And the reality is most of those messages are going to fall on deaf ears, but you only need one person to answer for that to work. And it does work at scale in that way. And so this AI is also allowing us to refine our offers and rapidly iterate on pricing models and positioning and just marketing in general. And I'm going to give you an example of how I used it for my marketing. And so what you want to do is start engaging with it now. You may not necessarily learn something immediately that's going to change the game for you and increase your productivity by 50%. But if you start implementing now, within 3 or 4 weeks, you will. It won't take that long. And so I'm going to show you real quick how I use ChatGPT as a high IQ business partner and how I used it to refine one of my offers that I was coming up with earlier this year. And so a lot of times when I was trying to refine an offer, I would need to wait on a conversation with somebody else. I would need to wait until I had a time with my coach or a mastermind or something like that. I had to bounce it off of people before I could really figure out what I wanted a new offer to be. And I was able to just knock it out within 15, 20 minutes with a conversation with AI. So I'm going to share with you a very specific word for word conversation I had with ChatGPT about an offer I've got that I've now rolled out, and this is for a high level mastermind. And if you want to read it word for word, you can go over to the link is down in the description. I put a link to the blog, and the blog I've written it word for word. But I'll summarize it here. I'm not going to go word for word on this video right now, but I asked that, hey, I'm considering charging $16,000 for a year-long mastermind. By the way, this is not for the membership site that you can click on and get here. That's much lower price for you. You can try it out if you want to work with me at a higher level. If you qualify for that program, this might be for you. But I said, hey, I'm considering charging $16,000 for a year-long mastermind. And please break down the psychological triggers that would make this an easy yes for the right person. And if you've studied marketing any amount of time like I have, then you know that marketing is primarily psychology, and AI understands psychology and marketing. So ChatGPT came back and said, hey, exclusive positioning, clear ROI, social proof and authority, personal access and transformation. And it gave me a lot of other things there as well. And so I decided to push it further. I said, okay, that's great. That's stuff that I usually already know. It's nothing new. And so I said, challenge me. What's missing in my offer that would make someone hesitate? I want to know what would make someone hesitate. And so ChatGPT, came back with some questions. Am I already doing well enough without this? Will this help me in ways that no other mastermind can? What's my plan if I don't get immediate results? And so that last one really hit me. I realized I need to segment my offer because no single offer is going to hit the nail on the head with every type of person. And so I ended up creating 2 different tiers. I said, hey, instead of charging $16,000 for a single offer, let's create 2 different tiers. What could those 2 different tiers be? And so what I find is when people come in who are already doing pretty well with their business. They're making $10,000 a month, or they're doing 6 figures or 7 figures a year. They fall into two different categories. And so we ended up splitting them into two different tiers. So the first tier is the nudge and tweak offer. And that's not the official offer name. I may end up changing it, but I'm always tweaking, I'm always refining. And that's something you could also be doing as well. I had one of our clients recently realize that his entire Instagram following was was interested in something that he wasn't talking about. And so had he been engaged in refining all the time, he wouldn't have gone a year of posting about one thing and then realizing they actually wanted something else, which really wasn't that much different than what he was offering, but the language was, and that made all the difference in the world. And so I find that there's two types of people that come in at a high level. They're doing 6 or 7 figures in their business. And first one is the nudge and tweak offer. These are for the people who need occasional strategic insights and course corrections. This person is really happy with having some type of ongoing chat with a group where they're getting ideas. They come in every 2 weeks and they get another idea, or they're able to bring a problem or a challenge they have to the group and they're able to solve it and they're able to move on. And so that's a nudge and tweak offer. And then there's the people who need even more structure. They may need a heavier hand. They actually may need some coaching, which is different than a mastermind. A lot of masterminds these days are set up as like, come get group coaching, and they call it a mastermind. That's not a real mastermind. A real mastermind is when you have a lot of high-level business people in the same room who've done well enough, they understand stuff and can actually contribute, and it's a group conversation. So in my mastermind, I'm not like the head honcho where people are coming to learn from me. I definitely give my insights. I have more experience than most people in the mastermind, but true mastermind, there's not as much relying on the person. They're relying on the person who's leading it to create the network to invite in the right people. So that nudge and tweak offer, 12K, it's really easy to deliver. And then the second offer it came up with was the structure and flow offer, which is 20K a year. Sorry, it's 12K a year for the nudge and tweak. The structure and flow offer is 20K for the year. So you can see that these are two different pricing points. And so the second offer, the higher tier, is for people who require deeper systems, accountability, and are looking for a high level of transformation. And so this really solved a problem, because I found myself on calls with people who were falling in one or the other category. And if my offer didn't quite fit exactly where they were at, then they were no longer interested. And so some people, if I only offered the 20K, a lot of people just want those insights and the occasional strategies. And the other people want more hand holding. And so being able to put both of those people in the same group while offering a certain amount of those people a higher level of care is something that was really attractive to me. It felt a lot easier to get on a call with somebody who had applied to our mastermind and work it out and say, well, which one of these is actually going to move the needle for you the most? Because you may not need a lot of hand holding, or you may need a lot. And so that was a real world conversation I had with ChatGPT. I was able to work out. That is something that I would normally have to wait to get on a call with my coach and go back and forth. and then questioning whether, the coach I had enough of the right experience or what they were bringing to the table. And with ChatGPT, I was able to go back and forth in a way that allowed me to get it within 15 minutes and then be able to take it to somebody and vet it out there. And so what's basically happening at this point is AI is becoming the highest leverage point. And it's a lot of times people are thinking about, people talk about how AI is like the invention of the internet. The internet just came online. And that's how I was thinking about it too. But after further consideration and listening some podcasts from some really smart people, someone had said it's actually more like we just discovered fire. And then they went on and talked about some other things. But I mean, if we think about how humans discovered fire, what happened when we discovered fire? It changed everything. We were able to use it to cook food, forge tools, and survive in ways that were previously impossible. It allowed us as humans to have more leisure time, allowing for greater creativity and innovation. And it also gave us access to nutrient dense foods, increasing brain size and accelerating cognitive evolution. So we're having more leisure time and we're getting more nutrient dense foods. That's what allowed our minds to be able to expand and how consciousness evolved. And that's really what's happening with AI right now is it's going to put us, and it is putting us in a position where our consciousness can evolve and we can become much more creative. Another example or an analogy that I heard was this with AI coming online the way it is right now is more like we just discovered a continent full of billions of people who are ready to work for almost free and were really high skilled and intelligent. And I like that analogy too, because I've really been thinking about how AI is really a great place to start delegating in a way that maybe we couldn't afford to pay people to delegate the way we do with AI. I mean, there's been many times it's 10 o'clock at night and I'm hitting up AI. I wake up first thing in the morning and I was chatting with AI yesterday about, I'm feeling tightness in my hip and my shoulder and like, how are these connected? And we were able to come up with a game plan. So it was really, really incredible. And that what's really incredible is like you have an expert that is available 24/7. So that's another crazy benefit that we have. That I mean, just the idea that we don't have to wait to talk to somebody who's studied this their whole life in order to get a pretty good reflection is incredible. So if you're ready to implement AI into your business, into your content, into your coaching strategy, whatever it is, we put together this thing called Coach Flow Systems. And with Coach Flow Systems, we're in there talking about how to automate marketing campaigns, how to increase audience engagement, how to deploy AI-driven DM agents for seamless lead generation, and refine and optimize your offers for maximum impact. In the world of business, one of the things I've learned is that getting your offer right is usually what makes marketing easy. And so this is something that the refining of offer creation on a consistent basis is really allowing a lot of entrepreneurs, including myself, to be able to test things quickly, come back and get feedback loops in a much faster way. So if you want to join us over in our Coach Flow Systems, the link is down in the description. This is not a high ticket mastermind. This is not the mastermind I was talking about in this video. It's really affordable. There's practical toolkits in there, and it's something that you can implement with your business right now. And so one of the reasons I'm making this really affordable is because my goal is to get as many entrepreneurs into this community as possible, because as much as I spend a lot of my extra time studying AI and how it applies to business, I'd say at least half of my ideas are coming from the people I'm working with who figured out something that I didn't think about yet. And so as a community, we're able to come together and really help lift each other up and use AI as a group. And so it's really this think tank that's coming together and saying, hey, this is what I found. And so it kind of is a mastermind, but I'm giving a lot of education in there as well. And so if you want to join our group, join our community and get in there, start engaging, learn how to use it in your own business, start saving yourself some more time, and then you're able to contribute and let us know how you did it. That's a huge plus for everyone. There's already some really awesome people in the community, and I would love for you to be in there as well. Jump in, say hi, start going through the education, and I'll see you in there.